So welcome to Namm 2016 Stompbox TV. I'm here with Bob and Brian at Dunlop and MXR. We've got a really exciting product for you today. A product I never thought that we were going to see from MXR. It's a reverb pedal.
Yeah, you know, it's long in the making, and but we wanted to do it right.
Not just a reverb pedal, a killer reverb pedal.
Killer. Well, it's long in the making, and we actually, when we said we're going to do it, it still took us a couple of years. A lot of development right from the ground up. All of the 6 sounds that are embedded in here were from the ground up crafted by our ears and our what we think the best sound for spring, plate, room. We have a cool pad setting, a hall, an epic setting. But to stay true to the MXR, it's very simple to use. You know, we have 3 parameters that very how should I say, visually looks just like any of our simpler MXR pedals, but the middle button just scrolls through the 6 settings. You have decay, you have mix, and then a tone control. And with this, you also have a couple of things internally that you can do, but like stereo, true hardwire or true hardwire bypass, or trails if you don't care about true hardwire bypass. But when you shut it off,
100% wet.
Well, that's embedded in that all the time. The trails, you know, go off when you shut the thing off. But also we've upgraded all the codecs, super quiet. The platform is, the DSP is very high power, so you really get a high fidelity sound on the reverb side. The analog side, the drive pass, is literally all analog. Doesn't get touched by digital at all. We even have an analog mixing at the output. So all of your distortions or anything that goes before it, your dry signal is going to be unadulterated. It's going to be untouched. So that's a really important feature too.
It's important, especially when you're running overdrive or distortion. A lot of times when you run that into some delays and reverbs, it kind of gets real muddy. But with that dry path, that analog dry path, you get a really good note articulation with the distortion and gain stages.
Yeah. MXR's always been about analog, and Jimmy Dunlop actually came over to the UK. I remember suggesting a reverb pedal to him. He said, "We'll never do digital." What's happened?
Well, you know, over the years things have gotten a lot better, and also the fact that, you know, we had the passion too to create digital or a reverb. Because first off, you can't do an analog reverb. It's just,
well, I mean, you can with a bunch of springs or a can of oil.
That analog,
It's the only way to do it. I mean, I think the focus is not so much that, oh, hey, MXR is doing digital. The focus is that MXR is coming out with quality, unique products. And the only way to do a reverb, and that's been the #1, you know, request for a long time, was, hey, when are you guys going to have a reverb? Well, now the answer is we have a reverb. It's a quality reverb.
Yeah.
It happens to be digital, but the focus is that this is a kick-ass reverb, period. Because we want to come up with great products for our customers. We have to join the 21st century.
So you keep calling it kick-ass reverb. We want to hear it now. So let's run through some settings.
Right now I have it on, let's see, we go for, let's start off right there. This is the plate. Very classic plate, nice and tight. You control the parameters. For instance, the decay can make it short. Very subtle. To over the top. I could change the tone, so it's now dark to very bright. And the other cool thing about this, I'll be on this setting, is that I have the DP4 mini volume. It's got in and out, as expected, an auxiliary out, which can either be switched internally to a through tuner or an expression pedal. We have it hooked up to the reverb as an expression pedal. These 3 parameters I can set at the heel position, very subtle. Now with the toe down, I'll go extreme. So what it did, it now knows that the toe is one setting, the heel's the other, and I can literally pan between those 2 settings. Very cool. So all 3 parameters, that's 2 presets that you literally can mix between those 2 presets. So the other thing about this reverb is the spring. We really scrutinized over this. and it's lively. It's got all the characteristics, the decay characteristics, the reflection of a spring, all of the niceties, the warmth of the trails, and it, trust me, it was an easy feat, but we took every preset, started from the ground up. Each preset is not something off of one preset that we tweak EQ and such. We change every parameter in each setting, all the reflections, all of the regeneration, the frequency responses, and I think it's probably one of the best springs out there, except when you kick it, it doesn't void. But it sounds really, all the surf, let's get a little surf music here, go.
Brian's enjoying himself there. I think you'd struggle to get a real string into an MXR sized chassis anyway, so it's the only way to do it.
And you know, there's the epic, the modulation, which I really like. Modulation shit with it, very pretty. And then this other one, which is pad, and it does a regeneration and resonance of either high frequencies with the tone all the way to the clockwise, low frequencies, tone all the way counter, or a blend, a little bit of both in the middle. And it just takes on a whole lot. I get hypnotized. I'm a nerd. I could spend an hour, 2 hours in my room, just lights off. You're beautiful.
There's too much detail, too much detail.
It's off.
We won't go there.
M300. Man, 2016 is going to be a year of the reverb for us.
That's brilliant. Fantastic to see it, and also to see a pedal do such ambient reverb in a compact chassis like that. So
Use. Take it out of the box. You don't need to even read the manual. Just go with it. TRS in, TRS out too for true stereo. Also, again, true hardwire bypass or hardwire with trails. So, and also the cool feature too. Again, very simple. You turn it on. If you hold this button in, it'll go into completely wet. So you can also get that as well. So, M300 2016 Reverb on.
and it's a killer one, so you can get it at stompboxfxpedal.co.uk. Please subscribe for more coverage from Namm, and we'll see you next time. Thank you.